And welcome back. We're going to be talking about technique exercise number 2 right now. Okay, so this exercise starts off with some lip bends. Okay, then we go into 2 bars of a valve combination. We go back to lip bends, and then we sort of go down through that Remington style exercise with quarter notes. So with the bend, there's 3 ways to bend a pitch. Way number 1 that we talked about is sort of letting all the structure go and basically just playing with a bad embouchure, playing super flat, letting go of support. Don't do that. That's really bad. Okay, so that's way 1. Don't ever do it. And if you find yourself practicing and you do it, listen to ways 2 and 3. Okay, to provide maybe a better alternative to how you're going to be practicing. Way number 2 that we talked about is taking the pitch and sort of pushing it down. What we're going to hear with that method is a little bit of a volume increase and a little bit more of a push and a drive behind the bottom note. It's not going to be as resonant, but we're going to be able to tell that you're definitely moving air because we're going to have that volume increase. Okay. Way number 2 is good. It's better than way number 1 because it's getting us used to using the airstream. Okay. Now the way that I do things is way number 3, and I sort of recommend it, is opening the embouchure a little bit and then filling it with air. Okay, so if we just think about our normal, whatever, pick an open note of your choosing, the aperture size for that open note is going to be a little bit smaller than the aperture size for second valve or first valve or 1 and 2, whatever combination. Okay, so what we're thinking about doing is actually, when we're doing the lip bend, is getting to this aperture size with this fingering. So I'm going to open and fill, come back up. Open, fill up that new space, and then come back. Okay? What's going to happen is you're going to come back to hopefully a little bit more relaxed center because you're not pushing the air, but you're filling in the airstream's just getting a little bit wider, then you come back to a great resonance spot. Okay? So those are the 3 ways. 1, letting everything sag and go flat. Don't do that. Way number 2, taking the note, pushing it down, using the air. There's going to be a volume increase when you do it that way. And way number 3 is the open and fill. I recommend doing that because it keeps us thinking about what note we're trying to buzz. Okay? Now with that, we want to use that idea of that lip bend and the buzz change, and then in bars 3 and 4, using that to coordinate there. So we're getting the buzz to change first with the lip bends, then we're going back and adding the valve and hopefully using this buzz change. Okay, now once we get past the first 4 bars, we always want that half-step lip bend to get us thinking about the airstream sort of doing this. And then again, going back and forth with that as we go through it. What we don't want to do is try to lip bend a whole step when we're going to the first valve, and then lip bend a minor third when we're going to the 1 and 2. I just found that it forces the note too far out of center, and we start creating some bad habits when we do that. Is it possible? Absolutely. And once you get far enough advanced, maybe try it that way once we get down here. But in the middle register, it's really hard to lip bend down a whole step without opening up too much and creating some bad problems that we then have to get out of to get back to the correct note in the note center. Okay, so same thing we've talked about with other exercises. Air, lip bend with the valve changes. So again, practice it without the drone track for a little bit. Try to get that happening. And again, our gooey valves of that type of idea, and then go back, smooth it out. What we don't want to do is just blow this air and then finger here. We want to blow, again, that rubber band idea or that traffic cone idea that we've been talking about. So hopefully this will give you an example of some things to think about when you get to exercise number 2. And as the intervals get larger and larger and we finally hit that open lip slur, that C to that G or that B flat to that F, what I'd like you to think about is treating it like exactly the next note that you're going to be playing. Don't think this slot and this slot, but it's how do we travel between the partials and from note to note. It just happens to have the same fingering. So don't go, here's my B flat or F air, and that's where it is. And then I have to go to here. No, it has to move and be a fluid airstream that moves. Okay, so happy practicing.